Hi, I'm Eddie. I'm shooting with a Leica M6 and a 35mm Summicron.
T'Challa. I'm shooting with a 35mm f2.8 Carl Zeiss.
I'm Emil. I'm going to use yet to be released 7ARTISANS 35mm f2. Hi.
We actually end up shooting Eero 200 ISO film. Same film on all three cameras. Technically, the only real difference will be how each lens renders. So essentially, we've got f2, 2.8, f2, but we'll try and keep it around the same. So I'll probably end up shooting on f2.8 just to ensure that we've got the same results.
All right. So we're going to shoot the steps to see how much distortion each lens has. Because there's lots of straight lines.
Okay, so I've got 30th, 35.
We lost any.
The way to check your film is loaded correctly, once you've loaded it, tighten that, hold on to it. If that rotates, as you can see, it's loaded correctly. So 1, 2, ready to go. No trains, no cars. Come on, come on. Hold it. Got it.
Ah, shit. Sorry.
Best way to describe it.
When you shoot, are you right eye dominated or left?
I'm left eye on.
Right.
One 125th at f4. Straight at the barrel, straight down the camera.
What are they doing?
Do we wait for that to go down?
This is legit.
Trying to. Trying to. Oh my god. That's hard.
Alright, so what I've got today is a 35mm f2 7ARTISANS lens. I believe the price point they're going for is around $500 to $600. So this is the cheapest lens which will be in competition today. Really well made for its price point. The clicks, fantastic. The 50mm 1.1 that they make does not have clicks. So this does add a more premium build quality feel to the lens. Focus is down to 0.7, which is standard for most Leica lenses. It's very reminiscent in like design to the 35 Summicron that Eddie's shooting today. But yeah, it has a 43mm filter thread. Overall, really quite nice actually. Looking forward to see the result. So next we're going to talk about the 35 2.8 Biogon. It's actually my lens, so I know a fair bit about it. Zeiss made two 35mm lenses for like an M mount. There's an f2 and a 2.8. Like the f2 is definitely brighter, but it's also noticeably larger. Like it goes further out slightly. It looks more like a 50mm as far as dimensions go. So the 2.8 has the C in front of the name, C Biogon, that just stands for compact. But The sharpness for both lenses are quite similar, but apparently the 2.8 is a slightly better performer, and it actually, a lot of people say it competes with Eddie's 35mm f2 spherical as far as performance goes. What do you think about the lens, Taro?
It's been pretty good to shoot today. The focusing, the clicks of the aperture, yeah, it feels like a beautiful lens. I'm sure you get some really good images out of it. Yeah.
One thing that's slightly awkward in comparison to the other lenses that we have today is that the Zeiss's click stops are in third increments instead of half. The 35 7ARTISANS here is actually full stops, which is interesting, and I actually oddly prefer for photography because I find I don't ever use the in between. Yeah, I think the Leica is half stops. Yeah,
Correct, like half stops. Today I'm actually shooting with a 35mm Summicron f2 spherical. It's the lens before the current 35mm f2 Summicron spherical, which has got 11 blades. This has got 8 blades, and technically the newer one will give you a better bokeh. Now, I read somewhere, or I actually listened to someone, saying that spherical lenses, Leica spherical lenses, are made to be shot wide open. So, for me, I'm not a street photographer, so technically I would prefer to shoot around f2 or 2.8. I want to test this reliability in terms of open, in terms of the way that the lens is made. I think it's because I love to shoot things with a 3D feeling, and I suspect that what I'm going to get is a 3D look on an aperture of f2. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous lens. It is hideously expensive. I think brand new at the time it was around $3.5 or close to $4,000 Australian AUD. Now the newer one is obviously, that's the new one, and this is probably worth second hand somewhere around the $3,000 to $3,500 mark. I love it. I love Leica, and so we'll see how we go.
Next up we'll be talking about the M6s themselves, because we're all shooting the M6. I think it would be a nice opportunity to compare all three of these different models. So mine's the Panda Silver, I guess they call it the standard or the classic, right? It's a non-TTL. What do you have, Taro?
I have the black M6 with TTL metering for flash. So this is, I guess, in order of production date.
That's the oldest.
This will be the oldest?
Yeah, oldest. Second.
And then that's the newest, yeah.
So essentially, mine is a 1985 Leica M6. The key difference between the earlier ones is that there's an engraving on the top plate.
Whereas it's missing
Plus,
on ours.
I don't have any of the bumpers like the later model M6s have.
If we compare the form factors, they're all quite similar, except for the M6 TTL has a larger shutter speed dial.
Yeah,
That's correct.
And they actually match with the current digital cameras. They go in the opposite direction of the shutter speeds as far as the M6 Classics go.
That's what I was going to say.
And it has a similar form factor to the M7 with the chunkier
housing
top
at the
plate.
top.
Top plate.
Yeah.
So if you
Accommodate
compare,
the TTL.
correct,
metering
because if you
flash.
compare the two
Classics.
Classics, you'll see there is a silver line running down the bottom of the window, whereas on the TTL you'll see there's two
top,
silver, one on top. Effectively makes this camera around 2mm larger height compared to the. But other than that, again in terms of TTL, this camera has two red dots plus a dot in the centre which signifies correct exposure. The two ones here only have two arrows that tell you when they're both lit that they're both correct exposure.
That's about it, really. All really nice cameras.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I've never shot one before, but yeah, it's been really good to shoot. I love the rangefinder patch. It's a beautiful camera. I want one. If I wasn't so broke, I'd buy one. Definitely.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you.
Keep on shooting.